Going live.
We're live.
Hello, everyone.
Good evening. Well, actually, we're early. We're 2 minutes early.
We're early and on Wednesday again. It's going to mess everyone.
Well, we're usually late, right? Like,
Yeah.
We're always having technical difficulties.
Right.
Except tonight, everything went just smooth.
Smooth.
We hit the buttons and
boom.
Pow.
Boom.
Yes.
It's beautiful. It's smooth. I got a couple characters in here already, so yeah.
We have to make small talk until they actually start rolling in.
Small.
Tiny talk.
Tiny.
Yes.
Well, welcome to Wednesday Night Tiny Talk.
I'm pinching your head.
Yeah.
I'm pinching your head. All right.
Okay.
Bill McKayska, Charlie Romo, what's happening? Fubar, you were in the mountains, man, when we were doing our Sunday night thing.
Did you get any good shots of Bigfoot, Fubar? That's what we want to know.
Greasy Garage, Barry Cuda, Nathan McCree, Caleb Carburetors, Stang Lincoln, Carnitas, Benjamin Patterson, Phil, Abel D. I used to, so previous life, I had a guy who ran a used car lot, right? And he actually went by the name Phil the Order.
This is a business card.
It was like his legal name. He made his legal name, Phil the Order.
Phil the Order.
Yeah. Yes, it is Wednesday night already, guys. Crash's Roadrunner Garage is here. Thank God. Roar 714, what's happening? KJ Kiley, Boomer, Fun with Cars. Oh man, we got like everybody's
they migrated from the short Thursday night hiatus back to Wednesday night.
Yes, yeah. Well, we just do that stuff to keep them off balance. You don't want to be too predictable.
Yeah, we can take it for granted, and then they don't give us any likes.
I don't want to be taken for granted anymore.
I'm done being taken for granted at this age.
I'm tired of being a cherry in a bowl of apples.
Just getting squished at the bottom, turned into jelly. Okay.
Let's see. Able to time Trump will be on Rogan. Will he be tuning in? I'll just watch what everybody else says. William Brady. William Brady actually has a tech question, I believe.
No way.
What are you doing, man?
My phone was freaking out. Don't ever update your phones. What's the tech question?
Can't get my 63 Valiant to stop pulling while braking. The left wheel would lock when stopped. Released after 20 feet. Hose. Your brake hose is collapsed. Inside. The inside part of it. It'll look fine from the outside. The inside is collapsed. Change your brake hoses. And while you're at it, change your wheel cylinders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy. And change the one in the back over the back axle because it's just as bad.
Yes. Actually, you'd be surprised how many people with Mopar
don't have rear brakes.
Cars have no rear brakes. They don't know it because they have such a high firm pedal. And the fronts do like 70% of the stopping. So just driving it around, you'd never know it until you actually need them. And I'm going to estimate. So you take like your classic cars that are out there, okay? Ones that are essentially stock, not ones that were completely, gone through. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say that at least half of them have no rear brakes.
Oh, easy. I mean, I can't tell you how many beaters I've driven that rear brakes didn't work because of those. Yeah.
That's a good video, actually. Come to think of it.
Write it down. We never bring
a quick one. I haven't made a video in like days because I'm burnt out, but that actually could be a good video.
Yeah.
No, I did already. Yeah, never mind.
Well, we had this question's interesting for the ponderance of all mankind.
Yes.
Do you think the EFI conversion for old cars is going to be inevitable for old cars in the near future?
Me personally, no, absolutely not. He has other ideas. Like we're on opposite ends of the spectrum, like literally. Okay, we are diametrically opposed when it comes to our views on fuel injection for early cars
versus carburetors. Yeah.
Right. For me, it's forbidden under any and all circumstances.
For me, it's yes every time because it's better.
Right. So you got both ends of the spectrum right here represented. And look how peaceful we are. You would think, man, we'd be throwing punches and shit like that. Right?
We do all that off screen.
Yeah. No.
But and then we can, get a hold of me. I can put an ACES fuel injection on everything you own.
And I could straighten it out by putting a carburetor on it when you're done.
Either way, we got you covered.
Carnitas, is it possible to remove the dash pin on a 72 satellite without removing the dash? Yes, but you will hate life, bro. You will absolutely hate life. Yeah, you can get up there and get it all of the fasteners. They're 3/8 nuts. There's, oh God, it's probably 15 of them altogether down there, or more. But yeah, you can do it. You got to gut the front part of the dashboard to get access to all of them. Let's see. William Brady, changed the wheel cylinder 2 times, changed rubber hose. Swap drums to other side. Problem still remains. Okay, this is interesting. Let's go back to William Brady's problem with the 63 Valiant. You changed the wheel cylinders twice. You changed the rubber hoses. You swapped the drums to the other side. Problem still remains.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Since he swapped wheel cylinders, were his shoes contaminated with brake fluid? And he kept
I'm sure he's
it's just a question.
covered that.
Yeah.
And it's pulling to the right. Then the only thing, strut rod bushings. Strut rod bushings.
Oh, you get it down and that wheel pulls out in the bottom?
Yeah, the whole did you check the strut rod bushings? Look for play in that, right? Because the purpose of the strut rods is to hold the lower control arms when you step on the brakes to keep them from moving back. So if you've got a worn strut rod bushing, loose in any way, when you step on the brake, it's going to pull back on that side that's worn and steer the car in that direction. So check that. Let's see. The holes. Content suggestion. A video on upgrading rear drums to disc via a suitable donor car setup. I would never do that because I would never do it for myself. It's done all the time, and I know lots of people do it, but it's just not something I would ever do for myself. So if I won't do it for myself, I won't do a video on it. Let's see.
Roger Wilson, Dr. Ert, I'm imagining things are getting a little frustrated with Big Richard. No, not really. It's the rest of life that was frustrating, that was holding back Big Richard.
Big Richard was the escape from the frustration.
From reality.
Yeah.
And it's just when, the house and the pool and everything and this and that, everything is fighting, you have to, divide and conquer. But Big Richard's chill. There'll be more on him in the next week or so.
All right, so William Brady is saying, strut rods, why do brakes lock up?
Because when it pulls the wheel, it's
Yeah, it's going to change the contact patch on the wheel. I mean, how badly is it locking up? How badly is it locking up? I mean, okay, barring the suggestions that we just made, I can't think of anything else. I'd actually have to put my hands on the car. Okay, let's see. Hey, Mexican Spec. Yes. Did I say hi to Mexican Spec?
No, you just did.
Ah, there we go. Rocco says, just suspension used to sell 30% oversized, non-adjustable strut rods for popular Mopars. Mm-hmm. Well, I never really understood the reason for. I mean, I can understand having an adjustable one. That makes sense. But I never understood the concept of the thicker one because it's just a straight run. Like there's no curves or anything like that. So like make it as thick as you want, or I've never seen one break. A cat named Scooped is here, and there's a cat emoji and a hamburger, a cheeseburger emoji.
So a cat eating cheeseburger?
Yes.
Nice. We haven't had one
A
of them
cat
yet.
named Scoop.
So Scoop is like Garfield, but he likes cheeseburgers instead of lasagna.
This is what it looks like.
Nice.
This is what it looks like. Let's see. Nick Bruni, William Brady, proportioning valve or distribution valve issues. But how would that make it lock? I don't know.
Yeah.
Carnitas, do I have to modify the trench linkage on a 72 satellite to install long tube headers on the driver's side? No. I know I will most likely need to remove the starter and steering linkage, Summit brand. Okay, so is it a big block or a small block, Carnitas? Because you had two different animals there when it comes to the headers and starters and stuff like that. Rocco, I've seen a strut rod spin. Yeah, I've seen it in an accident, but not in normal use. That's why I don't understand why you would have a thicker one. Let's see. Rookie mechanic, Tony, my oil pressure drops to 5 to 10 pounds when I put it in gear automatic. It's normal. That's kind of typical.
10 hot at idle is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't freak out. You're fine.
Yeah. I mean, that's not saying it's optimized. That's not saying it's perfect, okay? But what it's saying is that it'll survive. It'll run like that. It's just loose. The motor's loose. Oh, what's on that? UT, any benefit in putting 318 poly heads on an LA? Will they fit? No. I mean, they're good heads. They're good heads. And yes, they will fit. Everything will line up for you. But a good set of later, like 360 heads, 340, 360 heads will flow better. It's all on the exhaust side. Everything's on the exhaust side. Joe K wants to know, Dr. Art, is it a good idea to preemptively replace known weak points on a car or just send it and deal with what breaks at that time?
That's a loaded question. If you know you got a bad part and it could kill you, yes, replace it before it breaks.
So academically, I would have to say yes.
Yeah.
As soon as you identify a potential trouble spot with your car, you should replace it with quality parts. But in reality, 99% of the time, you say, I'll get to that next week, and you send it, and it doesn't get repaired or fixed until it breaks. So, yeah, in theory, it's always better to do that. Mm-hmm. In theory. That's assuming you can get quality replacement parts, because a lot of the stuff that you get, like like new ball joints, let's say, tie rod ends, stuff like that. The original stuff, even if it's a little worn, will outlast the new stuff.
The new reproduction crap. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got a little play, pump some grease in there. You know what I mean? And unless it's really bad, with noticeable play, stick with the stock parts. Let's see. Broke Joker ATV has a question. You could probably.
Yeah. Just wondering what my 2014 Camaro SS will be worth money in the future. It's a 5th gen, but 14 and 15, they did a reface on it, so the Camaro only looked like that for 2 years. I'd leave it, and if it's in decent shape, it's going to be worth all the money. Look at it's 30 years from now. Okay.
30 years from now, there's no hope of that car. It's impossible for that car to be a survivor 30 years from now.
Because of the electronics.
Because of all the electronics, all of the modules, all of the complications. It might be a good roller.
Yeah.
Okay. But 30 years from now, to get anything to function in that car, it's going to be all workarounds. It's going to be all wire arounds, workarounds, aftermarket stuff. No, there is less than zero possibility of that car being a functional survivor 30 years from now. Period. The end. Right? Now, if you keep the body nice, keep the interior nice, you can do stuff with it down the road. But as far as value goes, no, it's not going to have collector's value like that. You're not going to have nothing built past, let's say, 2005, 2010, in that range. Nothing built past that point is survivable. And it's done deliberately like that. And now I just saw a video on another channel. I remember which channel it was. But they were talking about parts. Now they're pulling parts off the shelf once the car reaches 10 years old.
And that's it.
Okay. So when your transmission shift module takes a dump, right? Let's say 12 years from now, 15 years from now, you're not going to be able to get it from the dealer. And all of these parts are VIN coded. So it's not like you could just go to the junkyard, find a junk one, throw it in. It's all going to be programmed. It's
programmed to the VIN, specific VIN. You can't reprogram to a different car.
And there's all sorts of proprietary programming. There's all sorts of walls between you and just hooking up your laptop and fixing things. So if you're messing around with late model cars, very, very late model cars, hoping that they'll have survivability, collectability at somewhere down the line, you're beating it against the urinal, okay? You ain't going nowhere with that. And that's not just the boomer speaking, that's a mechanic speaking.
Scoop wants to know how big of a beer cooler fits in the trunk of a 1970 Dodge Dart. Someone has to ask the important questions.
Pretty big trunk.
Yeah, you could at least 48 pack in there.
Yeah, if you're a real alcoholic, you want to go with a 69, a 67 through 69, because the way the trunk opens, it'll be easier to load your cooler into the back.
So it's got a lower deck height.
Yeah, like on the later model ones,
it's up over the
it's over right. So you gotta lift it up over the bumper, right?
Yeah.
And if you're really rocked, okay, like you empty the cooler and there's nothing.
You're hammered, yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna have a hard time. So
Getting
you want a 67 through 69 Dart to optimize your cooler issues. Mexican Spec is saying, yes, you can't order a part at a dealer for a car over 10 years old. They even delete the old information and throw out the books. Yep. I have tried to get past my 2000 Durango. Bingo. Exactly.
They do not care. Yeah.
Right. Danny Boyd is saying someone will make a mega squirt type of deal which controls the whole car. But you can run the engine. Yes, you'll be able to run the engine. But what about the climate control stuff? What about all of the integrated modules and the CAN bus system that operates everything from the windows to the trunk latch to the door locks to the radio to the headlights to the dash lights to name it, right? What do you do with that? Okay, what do you do with that? It would take NASA to create and even then, it would only be plug and play with a specific car.
They're going to make great drag cars because you're going to have to gut them anyway because none of that shit works. I'll just throw it out, start over.
Boomer is saying he saw the same thing about parts on Car Wizard and similar on South Main Auto. Yep. Broke Joker, do you even drink, Tony? I have like a beer every year or two, and I'm a ultimate beer snob. I won't drink anything that no light can ever pass through the liquid that I'm about to consume. You see what I'm saying? Guinness is like a light beer to me. John Connett, hey Tony, you ever get the chance to drive a real A12 car? Yes. I actually did a drag test on an A12 car. Was it a drag test or just a road test on a 69 Roadrunner? Like 40 years ago, like 1986, 1987, for High Performance Mopar magazine. Okay. I should have got water. I can't talk.
You always go without water. I mean, there's no cooler, there's no fridge.
There's nothing. I'm like a Spartan, man. I'm like a barbarian when it comes to this shit.
Well, you're just gonna have to muscle through it.
I'm gonna have to muscle through it. What do we got? Oh, we've only got.
It's 43 likes anyway. I mean, how much talking do we need to do?
It's true. Let's just sit here and the hell with it. Yeah. No, I could just leave you here. I could run over to the store.
Yeah, go ahead.
Get some water.
Yeah.
Let's see. Benjamin Patterson, Tony, what are your thoughts on cannabis and THC products? I'm really not familiar. I don't really have an opinion on them. I just don't know.
Kind of talking back and forth to each other.
They are. They don't need us.
No.
We're just the conduit by which they communicate.
Right.
A cat named Scoop. I have around 5 beers on a weekend day. Normally 3 is my average in a day. I mean, I've gotten to the point that I see. I've grown to the point that I see alcohol as a poison. I don't judge what other people do. You know what I mean? I don't care what you do. But me, myself, I look at it as it's not good, man. It's not good. That's not to say I haven't drunk in the past. Excessively at times.
We've all drank excessively at times. Yeah.
Yes.
Way back when, just not anymore. I get freaking headaches from one beer. So it's not worth it.
Danny Boyd is saying hackers will make over computerized cars work after the computers take a dump. And what are they going to do with all the various control modules and stuff?
Yeah, it's not the module burns up.
Yeah, you're being unrealistic.
Something to control module maybe, but if module burns up for, like a tip 'em on a Chrysler, a PT Cruiser, just a simple one like that controls everything. You're done.
Buddy Corfano, did cutting the sway bar off the Jeep affect the way you drive? We were actually just talking about that, like literally before we came on. I don't think so. You just drove it.
I just drove it.
He literally 10 minutes ago. He just 20 minutes ago. He just drove it. And how does it feel? How does it handle?
Just like a Jeep.
Like a Jeep. Yeah. You'd never know it was. Yes, I drink a lot of Tang. Not that sugar isn't a poison. Sugar, I believe, is like the leading cause of cancer. But that's besides the point. I indulge with that. Broke joke. I used to be a doctor. I gave a guy 2 weeks to live, and he couldn't pay his bill, so I gave him another 2 weeks.
So, yeah.
Kenny Youngman, man, that's like a 70-year-old joke.
Mm-hmm. You didn't bring the pipe, did you?
I didn't bring the pipe, so I can't bloviate tonight.
Did you give up on it already?
I haven't touched it since Sunday.
Okay.
But I will.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The throttle cracker has a Driveshaft angle issue. Could use a hand. What you got, man?
Yeah, explain.
We're waiting for him. Kingsman Racing Division. Tony smoked the ganja. No, man, I'm completely straight edge. Like completely straight edge. For me, it's like I had some chocolate chip cookies last night, and that's pretty radical these days for me. I cut out sugar. I cut out I've lost. Finally, I lost 11 pounds. I was 200. I got down to 189. I stayed at 189. I couldn't lose it. Right, I need more than that. And I just checked it down to 187, so I lost 2 more pounds.
It's the cookies, chocolate chip cookies. Eh?
Well, I had the chocolate chip cookies last night.
So you're back up.
Very good. I don't need a kidney. It's usually want to know where I got it from.
Mm.
That's great. I'm expect throughways. You know? Want to fix my Grizzly 600 for me? No, man, I really don't. But I wish you luck.
Wish you luck. Yeah, and if you brought it here, you never get it back. So.
Edwin, is it worth converting 516 heads to 906 for a 440? 440 never came with 906 with 516 heads. All right. Okay, so the 67 440 has the 915s, which are the closed chamber 516 like heads, but they have the bigger exhaust valve like the 906s. So if you've got a closed chamber 440, then it's actually a 67 440 head. For any use, so now let's just talk about putting 516 small valve nice 516s on a 440. Under 5,000, 5,500 RPM, you'll never see the difference. You got a better combustion chamber with the 516s. So I would say they're fine. I would use them. If you're going for all out, flow is important, big cam, big RPM, then yes, the 906s would be better. But
sure, matching Marv Pro, menacing Marv Pro. Tony, going to rebuild my first motor, a running 66/6. I'm an experienced mechanic, but my first rebuild. Anything you could recommend besides watching your videos, like a book to read or la 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 la?
Get the service manual. Get the factory service manual. It's such an easy motor to do. It's so easy. You'll have fun with it. But no, there's no like checks or insight or anything like that. It's just a really basic, simple.
Yeah, there's
thing to
no
do.
wizardry in a slant
Nothing.
six down.
Nothing. Okay, so somebody was asking about the Driveshaft angle and Fun with Cars, saying you can Google a Driveshaft angle finder. Yeah, they put it on your phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what moved or what caused this vibration? Did why is it initial all of a sudden? Or is it just putting the car together the first time or
I don't know.
yeah.
Zero is here.
Nice. Hi, Zero.
What's happening, brother? We missed you on Sunday. I was really hoping you'd come by. Center bearing angle. Do you have a center bearing? A hanger bearing? Because all those things are a pain in the ass. Anytime you can eliminate a hanger bearing, do so. Let's see, Broke Joker. When you're building a motor, would you rather have the truck or camper 440 or a passenger car 440? Isn't the cranks different? Cranks are the same. Everything is exactly the same. The difference on those engines between the passenger car and the motorhome, industrial, and marine 440 is in the cylinder heads and water pump. Joe K, would adjusting pinion angle help Mission Improbable on the launch?
No.
Oh, Mission Improbable's got a pretty stout launch. Wait till you see what it does on Friday, I think.
Because despite it hits hard.
It does.
I mean, for what it is, I mean, it cranked me back in the seat pretty hard. So.
Throttle cracker with the Driveshaft.
Yeah.
Front and rear angle is spot on. How should the center U-joint supposed to be angled? So when you say center U-joint, like now, okay, are you talking about like a CV type of joint, or what do they call it? Cardinal
bearing?
Yeah, where it's got two, it's got a double U-joint at the back, or are you talking about a hanger bearing that's in the middle of the drive shaft? Zero saying he was stuck closing, couldn't appear in uniform. Oh, no problem, bro. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying we missed you. Okay, talking about drive shafts.
Mm-hmm.
Throttle crack is saying no hanger bearing. So what's a middle of U-joint? And now he's saying it's a hanger bearing.
It's got to be supported by something.
I give up.
Yeah, because I mean, it's straight from the trans back to that hanger.
Yeah, there's usually no angle between the drive shaft and the hanger bearing, and the angle will take place between the hanger and the
diff.
And the diff. Joe K saying I had a hanger bearing mount that rusted and failed on the road. It went to bind and stopped the truck. Yeah. Hanger bearings are. Anytime you can eliminate one, do so.
It's a Toyota Supra.
See, now I'm not familiar with the drive shaft setup on that.
I'd have to remember. It's been a minute since I've been under a Supra. Yeah, like 15 years.
Same here. Those mechanic days, and you know. Edwin, 516 heads on 66 440s and 67 383s. 67 440s went to the 1 year only 915 head. About 68 and 60. Yeah, I know about 68 and 69, the 906s, and then the 452s. I get that. All right. Yeah, Edwin, you're right. I forgot about the 66 440. You're right about that. So I guess I assume you're running a 66 440, in which case I think they're fine. You could have, I mean, if you're thieving for it, you could have the exhaust valve open up from 160 to the what is it, 180, 180. Oh God, I don't even remember the number.
Matt Horvath.
Yes.
So I am very responsible.
And
They picked up a new project, a 67 Buick Wildcat. Nice. Those are cool. Big cars, but they're cool.
You can't ever argue with a Buick, especially from that era, man.
It's just, yeah, it's there and you're like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You don't even have to like cars. And you say, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's a cool car. Yeah.
Really can. Thank you, 174. Because Tony, can you explain the overrunning clutch 727 torque flight? You talk about the spread. It turns one way, but not the other. The only time it becomes an issue is if you're doing burnouts in first gear.
Then you let off and get back
Right.
on.
Right. Yeah, you can let off, but if you pedal it, right, you pedal your burnout in first gear, it'll flip the spread. Right. In some cases, it'll actually tear it out the back of the case. But that's the only real concern you would have about the overrunning clutch and the torque flight. Blake Norman has taken a 727 torque flight LA360 to dyno to see what I built. Any tips? So they get 3 pulls for $250. Oh man. That's not bad. That's not bad.
No, that's not bad. Yeah,
that's a pretty good deal.
Depending on the rear gear, you might want to run it in second because if you get a lower gear, you don't want that much wheel speed on a dyno. But they'll tell you that.
Any tips? The only thing I could say is make sure that you've crossed all your T's and dotted all your I's. Make sure the timing's where it's got to be. Make sure that just make sure that everything is right before you stick it on there. Make sure the plugs are clean. Make sure the plug wires are all nice and plugged in, nice and tight. That type of stuff. Just go over everything. As far as like tips go, no, I don't really have anything. So back to the vibration thing. With that Supra. So have you looked at the tail shaft bushing on the transmission? Now, it's not as critical on a hanger bearing. The tail shaft bushing doesn't take as much abuse on a hanger bearing rear or drive shaft as it does on a regular one. But it's possible you could have some excessive play in the tail shaft bushing, and that'll give you crazy vibration. It'll come and go with different RPM. Let's see. Carrier bearing. Bob's Chop Shop.
Directly from Canada.
Yes, Bob can get a motorhome 440 for cheap that has 3 burnt pistons. 3, 4, and 6 have holes burnt in the center of the pistons. The block looks okay, and I think would be usable. Never seen one do that. Thoughts? The block looks okay. I mean, look at it carefully because whatever hold those pistons, those same effects were happening in the cylinder walls. So really look them over for cracks. I mean, really look them over for cracks.
Yeah. What blew a hole in multiple pistons?
Right. Let's see. Eagle Talon equals Chrysler Laser. It's a Mitsubishi Eclipse. Okay.
That's new math.
That's a concern, cracking the cylinder walls.
Mm.
Also, check for cracking in the main saddles. Above and to this. Okay, so look at the main saddle. Look at the oil hole, because so detonation is what cracks those main saddles, and it'll hold pistons too, right? So check So picture the oil hole in the main saddle as a 12 o'clock position, right? Look between 1 and 2 o'clock. Look between 10 and 12 and 1 and 2. Okay, using, like I said, it's that number, the oil hole is 12 o'clock. So between 10 and 12 and 12 and 2. In there, in that zone, look for cracks that run across the main saddle.
There was a question up here that I didn't quite understand, so maybe
I don't understand it either.
Okay. 200 mile per hour ZC06. Wanting to upgrade my open diff to posi in my hot rod. Okay. My axle tube code is blah, 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 blah. What is my current gear ratio so I can order the correct carrier and gears?
Oh, brother, man, I have no clue.
But why would you order new gears if you're just putting in a posi carrier? Just buy the carrier and swap it over?
I want to upgrade my open diff to posi in my hot rod. My axle tube code is 2AZ. What is my current gear ratio so I can order the correct carrier and gears? Okay. So 200 mile per hour Z06. Forget about the numbers that are on the axle tube. That's not going to have anything to do. That's the number of the housing. Okay. The carrier is where the difference is, and there's generally going to be a break. So you'll have, let's say, from 220 to like 290 gears would be one carrier. And then you go from like 290 gears to the next, however big it goes, would be another carrier. That wouldn't be stamped in axle tube. The casting number or the part number for the axle tube would be stamped there, but that won't give you the information what's going on inside of it. What kind of rear is it? That part number or the number means nothing to me. What kind of rear is it? Phoebe Robier says that a stroked Mopar V8, Mopar B V8 is a beautiful thing. I agree, Phoebe. Dean Stevenson says, for 700 years, Spanish language hasn't been assaulted, but one half Kiwi has ruined the Queen's English in 140 years. I'm better for knowing that. I swear to God, I know I'm better for knowing that. Rocco is saying the 400 Chrysler is a good engine. It certainly is. Mm-hmm. Don't have the street cred of the 440, but can be built to run hard with cheap parts, get your compression up. It's got the biggest bore. And if you're a bore guy, man, the 400 is it. The 400 starts at 4.36. 4.344. Well, it starts out as a bigger bore than the 440, and you can go bigger overall. Let's see. They're talking about there's lots of conversation going back and forth about the hanger bearing.
Yeah.
Phil, Tony, can you explain the 727 torque flight overrun and clutch burnout, how to first gear into second and ride it out slowly lifting off the throttle? Start your burnout in first gear, right? Brake the tires in first, right? If for whatever reason you have to take your foot off the gas, take it completely off the gas and let everything return to idle before you give it gas again, okay? Or you'll flip the sprag. Start your burnout in first gear, and then once the wheels are turning, shift it into second and stand on the gas. And then you can take it for, once it's in second, once you're up in second or high gear, then it doesn't matter. It's out of the picture. It's not, so don't worry about it. Techno City says asking you guys is a waste of time. I like to think it's a waste of time at times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Waste of time Wednesday. That's why we're here.
Waste of time Wednesday.
Oh, look at that. Mr. Green Beans. Here
Green
for you.
Beans. Thank you for the super chat. I asked about underrated engines and rear ends, but now I want to know about underrated dealer options for these older cars. What dealer option can you think of that should have been more popular? Dealer option.
That's a big wide question. Yeah, because there was cool stuff in the 50s and 60s and
Yeah, we go back to the 50s. You had the underdash record players.
cleaning suspension, the fender skirts, the
Con-
dual antennas.
Continental kits.
Yeah. The mock tops. And
Those were factory installed. I guess you
Yeah.
could have done that from the dealer. Dealer options. So talking about Mopars, right? So the 6-pack setups were available over the counter all through the 1970s, right? Actually, up until like the very early 1980s. So you go to any Dodge dealer, right? Chrysler dealer, Plymouth dealer, whatever, and order a turnkey, everything included 6-pack setup, and they were only about $400. There weren't a lot of money. Everything you needed, they had on the shelf, and you could have during that period that there were assembly line building 446 packs and 346 packs. You could have just bought any 4-barrel car and have them convert it at the dealer to a 6-pack using all of the right factory parts. So I would say that might be one of the. That's like people like with the 6-packs. See, that's the thing about so a Hemi car can only be a Hemi car, right? You can't swap a Hemi into a regular car and make it a Hemi car. But that's not true with 446 packs. 446 pack cars could very well just be have the carburation setup added to a 440 car or a 340 car. So like people would be like, oh, but it doesn't say 446 pack in the VIN. Didn't have to, right? Because it could have been on the showroom floor, and the dealer could have said, put a 6-pack setup on that thing, it'll sell quicker. So that I would say is it. What about you?
I like that answer.
That's a good answer.
Yeah,
You know, man, that's why I make the big bucks.
it is. They're coming up with all kinds of stuff that they want the turn signal indicators on top of the fenders and stuff like that. That kind of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Gizmos, Game Lounge, 77 LA 360, oil pressure issue, idle 0 to 5, fast idle 10, no cluttering or heating issues, valve pumping oil like the XN Valdez.
Is it okay? So, the lift is ticking. So if you're sitting at a traffic light, okay, and you're in gear and it drops down to like 5 psi, are the lifters tapping? Because the lifters are going to require between 6 and 7 psi. So if you're sitting there for an extended period of time and you're not getting the lifters start to bleed down, collapse, then it's something is wrong with the
Gauge sender related.
Craig Simpson, thank you for the super chat. CB flag on the garage. Who was CB? I had a bunch of people. So my friend Andy, who was in the Army, we did a Hemi GTX. So we went through that car and the motor and all the other stuff. And he hung the flag up. He hung his flag up where the car was. So other people who had been in the service saw the flag and sent their flags to also be represented. So that's how we ended up with all of those flags on the wall. And they're currently hanging in a preschool class. The landlord of the place I was in, he says, "What are you going to do with those flags?" And I was going to take them and put them up over here. Right? I says, "Well, what do you want to do with them?" He says, "Well, we have a preschool, and I'd like to hang them up on the preschool wall." And I says, "That's a great place for them to be." So that's where they are right now.
Now, on that subject,
Yeah.
besides the space and the added expense of the other shop, is there anything from the other shop that you miss?
No, nothing.
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 Nothing left behind. Nothing wanting. Nothing.
It was a burden.
Just
It was a burden.
too much burden.
Yeah, it was a burden. The last year I was there, I couldn't wait to get out of it. I love this place. It's a little cramped. You know, you're going to move one thing to get to another thing, but it's fine. Oscar Gonzalez, this is one for you. Thank you for the super chat, Oscar.
2001 Crown Vic driver's side central control locking switch only works on the lock position. Yeah, what should I check? Do you need a new switch? They all go bad.
Okay. Well, then there you go.
Yeah, just get yourself a new switch. It's Ford thing. It's like a Mustang turn signal or stuff. It's a Crown Vic window switches. They all just
And they're probably cheap on eBay, are they?
Yeah. They're real cheap at the junkyard.
Like the one for like the master switch for the XJs, it's like $16 new.
Yeah. So that's all. You just need a new switch.
It costs less than a pizza.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a pizza with no toppings, or you can have the complete master window switch assembly for an XJ for the same price.
Tony and our power takeoff Land Rovers were the ultimate excuse to convince the wife that the truck could double as a lawnmower. Have you sold your house yet and wanted to move to Tennessee? This is Abel. He was wanting to move out here.
Oh.
And he's in California, so he could get all the money, take his wheelbarrows full of money, come here, put one wheelbarrow in the bank, and
there's a lot of places in California they can't sell their freaking houses. Same thing with Florida right now. There's a lot of people
There's
can't
just
sell their houses.
too much.
Yeah.
Too many. Yeah.
Too many. The insurance is insane. The taxes are insane. People are and it's bad time to be in real estate.
Yeah, Oscar said there's no more switches in eBay or auto parts. No, and you're going
really. You should be able to crack it open.
I've tried it.
You can't do it.
No, they just corrode and they just go bad. You can't really do anything with them unless you're really good. But just next stop junkyard. You know.
All right, 200 mile per hour 06. Seems nobody sells a posi for under a 323, so I won't have much choice. 2 AZK 338 is a 241 ratio. Ring and pinion. Okay. Yeah, bro, can't help you with that.
Nobody makes a carrier at all for that?
They say they don't make a posi for less.
It's too small of a gear.
Yeah. Too small of a gear.
Oh, he's still up late looking. He's on Zillow looking for a property.
Oh.
Okay.
Richie B, how's the pipe smoking? Sunday night was the only time I messed with it. I'll try it again.
Phil, hey Tony, what's the needed to put a 360 crank in a 318?
You'd have to turn down the mains. Just turn down the mains on the 360 crank and it'll bolt right in. Brown Brothers Automotive. I'm a young car guy, and I've encountered an issue with my 67 Impala. Every time I put it into gear and give it some gas, it will bog down and sometimes cut off. What could the issue be? Brown Brothers Automotive, we get asked that question how many times a week?
At least once.
At least once, usually 2 or 3 times. It's the single most common thing. That's the video I gotta do. Tomorrow? Yeah.
Okay.
It's the most common complaint people have when they're dealing, younger people who aren't familiar with these cars and the way they work. Most common complaint there is. You have one of two, usually, obviously there's a universe of things, It could be, but you can boil it down to one of two possibilities that are the main things. The first is that you don't have enough initial timing. So whatever you got the timing set at, so let's just say the factory calls for like 4 degrees before top dead center, 6 degrees before top dead center. If you've got some timing chain slop, the motor's a little tired, come down in compression a little bit, it's definitely going to need more than that. So that's probably what it is. You don't have enough initial timing, or you don't have enough accelerator pump shot. So when you give it gas, what you do is the engine off, look down the carburetor, right, and open the throttle with your hand, and you should see 2 streams of gas shooting, two solid streams of gas. If you don't see that, then you don't have enough accelerator pump shot. So when you give it gas, it's going lean, and it'll leave a stall or it'll pop through the carburetor. So either one of those 2 situations are the most common, like 90% of the time. It's going to be one of those 2 things, or a combination of the 2, that will give you the problem that you're having. So short answer, advance the timing a little bit, right? Just give the distributor a nudge, see if it feels any better, and check the accelerator pump. Did I answer that? Okay.
Yes. We need a legal pad or something to write down all these.
No, that's really, we get asked that question every freaking day.
But you're going to forget it by tomorrow, aren't you?
Yes, I've already kind of forgotten about it.
Right. So that's what we need to write it down. We could get rich if we just had ideas.
This is true. Frederick Forsyth, 67 Chrysler, rear drum, self-adjust to lock up, stock other than new shoes. Why? They self-adjust to where they lock up.
They're auto clicking, click, and just lock.
Yeah. The shoes aren't concentric to the drum. The material on the brake shoe.
Mm-hmm.
It's rocking on the material.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the way a self-adjuster is supposed to work, right, is that when you step on the brakes in reverse, if there's any slop, oh wait, did you put them in backwards? Do you have the self-adjusters on backwards?
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you may have them on backwards.
Because there's a left and a right hand side.
Right,
definitely.
right. In which case, every time you step on the brakes, it's going to click it a notch. The way self-adjusters are supposed to work is that as the shoes wear, they become sloppy. Okay, so when you step on the brakes, they'll rock. Well, when you step on the brakes in reverse and they rock in reverse, the pole will give that little star wheel a click, just like that, right, to take up the slop, and it won't go any further than that. So if you're getting it to where the self-adjuster is working the way it's supposed to, where you back up, you step on the brakes, and it's adjusting it to the point that they're locking, it means that the shoe, your new brake shoes, aren't. Is concentric the right word?
Yeah, like it's a 9-inch shoe on a 10-inch drum. Is that what you're getting at?
No. So here's the contour of the shoe,
Okay.
right, or of the drum,
Mm-hmm.
and here's the contour of the shoe. See what I'm talking about?
Oh, the shoes are a different shape than the.
Shoes might be a different shape than the drums.
And then they're constantly rocking and constantly
Right.
clicking.
Right. Paul Cavazola saying out around drums, he would be complaining about a pulsation,
yeah.
but he's not. Green Bean, thank you for another super chat. Before I go, do you have a favorite automotive joke? Like if you rebuild the carburetor enough times, you will eventually have to. That's true. That's true. Oh God, favorite automotive joke. See, you put me on the spot. It's like
Yeah,
I'm sure I've got,
tons of them.
but I can't think of a single one right now. God, and he sent his super chats.
Right.
It's like I feel
He
obligated.
deserved it. He deserves
right?
an answer.
He gave the best one.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank.
Okay.
I'm drawing a blank. If I think of one, I'll. Okay, exactly. When you want to think of one, you can't.
Mhm.
Right. It's just like, if you're a comedian, you step on the stage, somebody says, say something funny.
It's lockup. Yeah.
So you're saying, don't feel obligated. I'm just contributing to the delinquency. Thank you. Save them for Sunday. Mexican spec is saying.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Freeman has not a good car joke, but it's a Polish joke. Don't do that. Dr. Art is Polish and he'll freak out.
About as Polish as you are.
Oh, well then go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. And people that don't live in the upper Midwest don't understand Polish jokes, but that's okay.
Oh, yeah, actually, come to think of it.
Yeah.
Erica's Polish, right?
No.
She's not?
No.
I thought everybody from up there was.
No. Just all the skis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Zelensky, those people. The people in the pink houses with the blue shirts.
And the polka music.
Yeah.
Paul Shea saying, here's a joke. It's illegal to drive an automobile with a hubcaps because your nuts are showing.
Mm.
Let's see. Did you hear Dr. Hart locked his keys in his car and then he had to please? No, he's not Polish. He's not.
No.
Fubar just put a link to my merch.
Nice.
This merch
What do you
that
got
I'm wearing right now. What am I wearing right now?
Internal combustion because
Yes.
the P standing up.
Yes. You can have one of these shirts. I still have hundreds of them. They just take up all kinds of space.
Well, you had thousands, so you must be doing pretty good.
We sold a bunch of them, but we still got to get rid of more. Thumper, what's happening? Thumper, I was flipping through YouTube this morning, and they show you it was on the TV, and they show you shorts, and there was a short of your blown. Was that a Le Mans or a goat? That's a cool car, bro. That's really nice. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. I think I've seen his car before.
Okay.
But I didn't see it on the.
Yeah, dude, that thing is that's tits. That car is nice.
It's Le Mans, he says.
So yes, Fubar put up the link to my merch, and then he put up the link to Dr. Merch. Dr. Merch is art.
Dr. Merch.
Dr. Merch's art. Dr. Art's merch.
Or you can buy shirts just like this very comfortable and attractive Big Richard
That is
t-shirt.
very comfortable and attractive looking.
Yes.
And I say that completely non-homo way.
Right. You need one in your life. And maybe a hat too. Jesus. If somebody bought a hat, I might splots.
So yes, thank you, Fubar, for putting up the link to our merch. Put Kathy Bananas to work. We only have 97 likes. There's only 97 thumbs up.
Well,
dude.
Why did we come back to
every time?
Why did we come back to Wednesday?
This hurts my ego. I go home, I jump in the shower, I cry the whole. I cry in the shower so people can't see the tears.
Kathy doesn't know you're crying.
Right, exactly. But yeah, it's all based on the likes.
What do we got to do?
Let's see. Can't wait for these dog crap Medicare ads to go away. I'm probably getting paid pretty well with them. Yeah. I can't complain about the ads.
Yeah.
This is how we make a living. I mean,
the Medicare and the political ads right now are paying the bills.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
We all got to suffer through them. Doesn't matter where what you watch.
Yeah.
They're there.
I've taken like a week off now, and my numbers haven't really, the income hasn't really been hurt very much because of the friggin' ads that they're running.
Oh, I wish I'm in YouTube jail. Even if I do have content, they're like, no one needs to see you, you bum. So.
Thumper's saying he's building another ugly low buck car, actually making content of it too. Excellent. Thumper, the sway fat guy. Go check out his channel. Very cool blown Pontiac Le Mans. He does a lot of Pontiac stuff.
Check him out soon because he lives up north and the snow's going to settle in and he's going to have to
get cold. He's going to have to friggin' get cold. That sweat is going to turn
freeze
ice.
And he's going to be outside like a snowman.
The snowman.
Yeah.
And Mexican Spec just put up the link to Thumper's channel. So go over there and show Thumper some love. Some fat, sweaty love. In a completely non-homo way. Let's see. Rocco, that's great. Tony, he'll make it up in mail-in likes at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
I watched that happen. I watched it happen as it was happening. Raymond Cabral, Uncle Tony and Dr. R, talk to Frederick Forsyth about brakes. And he's praying. Let's go back and see.
Come on, Fred. Where's Fred?
He's in Alaska.
There you go.
A machine shop told me that there's a space in the shoe that was made to flex the shoe to fit the radius of the drum, but I have never seen anyone explain that process other than that guy. No. No. No.
Wow. That was some bullshit.
Okay. There are grooved shoes, but the purpose of it is to get the dust, give the dust away to get out from between the surface. They used to have like NASCAR on their drums, their drum brakes. Because NASCAR used drum brakes until 1976. The discs were not allowed in NASCAR. So they were using, for a long time, most of them were using Chrysler drums, the 11 by 3 Chrysler drums. But their shoes were segmented. So I don't remember how many segments, but let's say there were like 4 of them. Like they were actually pads that were mounted on the shoes. And the space in between was a place where dust could and air could flow.
Degas the pads.
To degas the pads. So, but yeah, it has nothing to do with flexing the, no, you've got shoe flex. You've got some, you have metaphysical problems. You've actually, you've gone beyond what this realm is capable of.
Yeah, your 4th dimension brakes.
Yes, 4th dimension brakes, exactly. More stupid ads. They're not stupid, bro. They pay really good.
Yeah.
Paul Capizol, are you going to the track with the Jeep this weekend? Yes, we are.
Yep.
And we're coming home with either a 8-second time slip or a broken Jeep. There's no way around it, man. It's going to be one of those 2 things.
Yep, the work you've done and the extra Jesus tune, and
he just upped the tune a little bit, a little more timing, a little more fuel.
It's ridiculous.
Took away timing on the top end. How does it feel? He drove it. I haven't driven it. Does it feel stronger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds. It's more of a manly sound than you've ever had out of a Jeep.
Very manly sound from a Jeep. So you're saying you're not driving it there? I'll probably drive up there, but he meets me there. So if it breaks,
he'll just come get it the next day.
Right. Let's see. And it gives everything a chance. It gives the rear end to get really warm. Gives the transmission a chance to get really warm. Everything's, loosened up and all of that. You take a car right off the trailer at the track, and the first couple of runs are throwaways because everything has to get warm and expand. So, let's see. Phil, any future plans for Bottle Rocket? Yes, I'm racing him November
November 8th.
November 8th, we're racing Bottle Rocket against his Ranger. So the tentative plan right now is Friday night, Mission Improbable goes out. Next Friday night, Slaghammer goes out. And then the Friday after that, Bottle Rocket goes against him. So yeah, 3 Fridays in a row will be, we should be at the track. Eptic MDE Productions put in a new cluster. Now my brother's 74 Duster only starts in neutral. Is that an easy fix? Should be. I mean, I don't know how the cluster would affect the neutral safety switch. Oh, yeah, I know how it did it. Because in order to get that cluster out, you've got to unbolt the steering column.
You dropped it down
And drop it. Yeah. So what you do is loosen the steering column. So you got the two.
The 2 or 4.
Well, there's 4, and then there's 3. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, and then 4 from the bracket to the bottom of the column. Loosen the column. All right, loosen all of the bolts that hold the column in place, and with the steering wheel locked, turn the column. And with it in park, turn the column hard to the left, and you'll probably get about a 1/4 of an inch play there, and lock it down there, and it should start parking. Armin Trout, what the hell was that? Old cars and music. Damn spell check, I meant Armin Trout. Let's go back to that. Oh, I know he's talking about.
Yeah, they're deep in some conversation. Yeah.
Okay.
You want to address Gabriel here, since we talked about that too?
We were literally just talking about that.
We had a long conversation about that car.
Yes, and my I have 3 problems with that car. The first is that the weather's been so nice that I've just been avoiding everything. Okay, it's that simple. It took me a week to put the valve body in Slaghammer. I just finally did it today. It sat there on the for like over a week, and I just look at it and I'm like, I'm getting on the motorcycle to figure out. So I finally got it done today, right? So that's number 1 problem. The weather's been too nice, and I've had just motorcycle fever. Shoot me, right? Then the second problem is a lack of direction. I don't have a clear vision for what we want to do with that setup yet. And because I don't have a clear vision, I don't have the ambition to go work on it. And that's what we were talking about just now. It was like different potentialities with it, and I may have a better idea now. But with the winter coming, like literally, there's very little I can do for like 2 or 3 months except sit here and work on stuff. So that's it. I'm kind of just going through the motions right now until I'm forced by the weather to just dig in and turn wrenches, and then like stuff will happen. Danny Boyd says Dylan McCool has a killer 71-inch satellite. I thought it was a 71 Roadrunner. I started watching some of his stuff again. Oh, he's such a good kid. He really is. And we say hi occasionally, right? Actually, I saw him at the Mopar. I tapped him on the shoulder. Say, but yeah, I love Dylan McCool. I really do. He's such a good kid. He's so sincere. You know, he just exudes good human. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I like him a lot.
He was actually in his early days, before his channel really took off. I started watching him, and back and forth with him. and say, hey, email me, but so yeah, he's a real good dude. He's obviously very busy now, but
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, real good
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. It's like, there are some people you see on YouTube and you're like, how the hell does this guy get away with this, right? And then you look at people like, like Dylan, and you're like, man, I'm glad he's having success. Same thing with Sleeper Dudes, the same way.
Sleeper Josh. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good.
It's like every time, it's like you root for these guys. It's like, yeah, more subs, get bigger and bigger, right? There's some really, really good people on YouTube.
Same thing years ago, before he took off, Sleeper Dude. He's seen around Buffalo Valley or whatever.
Yeah.
And he commented, "Oh, I used to run my Maverick and stuff out there." And yeah, I talked to him again. They get busy, and you can't really spend a lot of time talking to them because they don't have time. They're busy.
Yeah, they're busy guys. God bless them.
Yeah, 20 days an hour making videos. Yeah.
Tony, you're working on Bottle Rocket to get it running again. How long has it been since it ran? The last time it ran was when I ran Andy. It's literally been sitting around ever since. I started it once to pull it up on a flatbed to bring it here, and then rolled it back off the flatbed into the space that it's in now. But it's ready to go. I mean, I haven't done anything. It's obviously going to have carburetor leaks because it's a freaking Holly, and it's been sitting for a year.
2 years. Yeah.
So 2 years, a year and a half, right? So yes, clearly, I know as soon as I turn the fuel pump on, it's going to be a fountain. I get that, right? So, but beyond that, man, I there's really nothing to do to the car. It's just go.
Yeah, just before you even hit the fuel pump, just do the accelerator pumps.
Yeah.
And yeah.
200 mile Z06. What's the difference between a regular Charger and a Charger RT? I know the RT has badges, but assuming the engines may be different as well as the rear end. Is there any appearance difference? Are you talking classic era Charger versus Charger RT, like 68 to 71? Or are you talking about newer Charger RT? Because if it's a newer Charger RT, I couldn't even guess at it. I have no idea. I know pretty much exactly the same about the microwave oven in my friggin' house as I do about late model Chargers. But if you're talking about earlier Chargers, I can give you like an exact rundown on that. So clear that. You tell me which one you're looking for information for. Okay, it's referring to a 68 Charger. So RT, the base Charger in 68 was /6 was standard. 318 was a no-cost option. 3-3 2-barrel, 3-3 4-barrel were your standard Charger. RT was either a 440 or a 426 Hemi. The RT package automatically got you, like I said, either the 440 or the 426 Hemi, 11 by 11-inch drum brakes all the way around, optional discs in the front, but you could have had that on non-RT cars also. Non-RT cars came with 10-inch drums all the way around. Front sway bar was automatically included in the package. Dual exhaust. Nothing in the interior except badging. Nothing else on the exterior except badging. What else? I know there's other things.
Was there like a dash difference or seats or anything?
Oh, you get the heavy duty radiator. You get the clutch fan. Should I get them?
Dash or seats or anything different?
No, the dash and the seats are the same.
Same. Okay.
4-speed cars all got Dana 60s. Standard gear automatic was a 323 open. You had to actually order a short grip unit on those. 4-speed and Hemi automatics had that same setup. Hemi 4-speeds came with a Dana 60, 354 gear. What else is there? And the Hemi cars were all 15-inch steel wheels with hubcaps. I think that's it. I think that's all the things that made a 68 Charger RT. Torque boxes only on the Hemi cars, KJ Kylie. Let's see. Epic MDE Productions. When you add aftermarket AC to a stock 67 Dart, would you have to upgrade the car's cooling system at the same time? Probably. It's going to run about 15 to 20 degrees hotter with the AC going. Because remember, the condenser gets hot too. And the condenser is in front of the radiator. So you're taking the heat from that also. So yeah, probably a good idea. Probably a good idea. Thumper, the sweaty fat guy. The 71 through 73 Chargers are growing on me. Lowered with the right wheels under them, almost as good as the 68 to 70 Chargers and 71, 72 Roadrunners. So Thumper, there's a big difference between the 71, 72 Charger and the 73, 74. They're like completely different cars. They look kind of the same, but the only parts that are interchangeable between them is the hood, the windshield, the back window, and the trunk lid. Everything else is completely different, but you don't know it because they both have that basic shape.
Subtle between curves and angles.
Yes, 73, 74 has larger wheel openings. 73, 74 has a different crease. So the upper crease on a 71, 72 is segmented at the door. So one comes over the other at the door. And then the same thing with the bottom crease where they come up like this. So 73, 74, they took the overlapping out, which was like a sharp accent part, like you don't, it's one of those things where you don't really see it, but you miss it when it's gone. So 73, 74, they softened it. So it's one line that goes front to back. Larger wheel openings and different side. And then of course the bumpers, they mounted they had to mount the bumpers further out, 73, 74. So there's a lot of differences between 71, 72 and 73, 74. And ultimate trivia, okay, for 73, 74 Chargers, the 73, 74 Charger uses a 71, 72 satellite roof. And they hide it.
With that 3-window.
Well, that's one of the ways they hide it, right? That's on the SE model. They have the upper window, okay? But they used a boomerang-shaped trim piece to like put a curve to the back part, to the front of the C-pillar. But if you take that boomerang-shaped trim piece off, you see a 1971, 72 Plymouth satellite roof. A lot of people don't know that. That's important to know. Very important to know. No, not really.
No.
Oops. Okay, there we go. Joe K. Speaking of AC, that was funny when Dr. Arn said I have 2 windows that roll down. Rocco saying, Tony, the roof is very similar, but not exactly the same. Nope, it's exactly the same. I know, because I took both side by side, right? They're the same. They're the same. Frederick Forsyth saying 70 was probably the last year of the good steel body cars. No, good steel was up until I like the Dodge St. Regis's and stuff, the R bodies, which I actually like those cars. They're extinct. And there were B bodies. There were stretched out B bodies. They still had good metal. Okay. Curtis Randolph. What about regular 72 Charger versus Charger Rally? Charger Rally was dual exhaust and trim package and the doors. So they had So your 71 Super B and RT based on the Charger had the shark gill imprints on the door, and the Charger Rally, 72 Charger Rally had those
Gills or whatever you call them.
like they were dimples. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Thumper is saying gold bond powder to minimize shaving. Yes. The sweaty fat guy would know.
All about gold.
There's the expert. There's the expert. Joe K hates sweating.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If he's going to be going to a place where I shouldn't be sweaty, what kind of man are you? Where do you go that you shouldn't be sweaty? A real man is sweaty.
The MK Productions for the 67 273 Dart. If doing a dual exhaust upgrade, thoughts on the TTI full system headers, question, or possibly dumping out the axle?
TTI stuff is really expensive, man. You could probably fabricate a setup much cheaper.
Your muffler guy at shop can.
Yeah,
you'll never notice the difference.
To a muffler shop. The TTI stuff is really freaking expensive. As far as like dumping at the axle, the only way that's really feasible is if the car is completely solid, right? Because when you dump it at the axle, there's a low pressure area behind the car, okay? So when you dump at the axle, that low pressure area is trying to pull the air behind the car into the car. So what you'll find is with the windows rolled up, you won't get any exhaust coming in the car. When you roll the windows down, any cracks, any openings in the back of the car, little rust spots or anything like that, will suck the exhaust in and bring it to the windows, which is right where your head is. So if it's a limited use car, just a stoplight fun car, a street race car, or something you just drive to the track, then who cares, right? But if it's something you drive every day, run it to the bumper, run it all the way to the bumper. I talk a lot. Have you noticed that?
Well, that's what you're here for.
In
case you haven't noticed.
Does it piss you off
No.
when I talk so much?
No.
Okay. If it does, you'd tell me, right?
Yeah. I'll say, shut up.
Okay.
No, but most of the stuff is still like, when the guy was asking about the RT difference, I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to take a few minutes because you're going to know all the tidbits. And I'm not, the Mopar guy, so I don't have this, so I'm kind of absorbing.
I know, but I don't want to be rude.
No.
And I don't realize when I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, you're fine.
Tony, when you flip, I flipped. Eons ago. This is way post flip. I flipped back on my nitro days. I was completely out of my mind.
Thumper, my 78 Bonneville had no pipe after the cat. The kids would be asleep within 5 minutes.
Right, there you go. Way to put the kids to sleep.
Yeah.
Gerard, do you have any experience with geared vendors overdrives? I'm trying to decide that or an AOD swap on my FMX. What do you think?
Go with the AOD. There's a couple little upgrades for the AOD with the, like the A+ servo for the band and stuff like that. And there's a couple, and then you go to Silver Fox. I think it was valve bodies, something like that. But that guy, he builds all the cool valve bodies for the AODs. and you can get it with a switchable overdrive or constant pressure, so you don't have to run a TV cable, or it's got lots of options. But I run AODs and 400 horse small blocks, and they're fine. And you click the overdrive switch, and boom, you have overdrive. That way you can, because on the AODs, they had that goofy shifter, which was first, and then second and drive.
Back down.
Yeah, and you had to kick it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this you just go 1, 2, 3 with the stock shifter, and then if you want overdrive, you hit the switch, and you can get all that built for a fraction of the price of a gear vendors.
Right. It's been.
And then you'd have to put the gear vendors on the FMX that he has, which is kind of the problem child to start with.
It's been 40 years since I drove an AOD, right, at the track. And if I remember, you leave with the shifter in first.
Yeah.
Then you shift to second.
And then
pull it back down.
So it stays in second.
So it stays in second.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And then you got to go back up to hit drive. So it was a dumb thing that Ford did. Instead of just having another notch, they're just like, we just reuse all the shifters. Why refabricate everything? But that's, yeah.
Robert Presti Jr., he don't believe in eighth mile times. He don't believe eighth mile times always equate to quarter mile time. You're absolutely right. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't. And I made a point of that when we were talking about the eighth mile times on the Jeep over here, because the conversion tables that you use are based on a consistent power level, right? So in other words, a car that has an exceptionally good chassis, exceptional bite, exceptionally good chassis, exceptionally good gearing, that'll produce very good short times, 60 foot and 330 times, will not necessarily have the power to push the wind on the other end. All right. So once you get past the eighth mile, you start to push a pretty significant amount of wind. And I made that point. I tried to make that point very clearly when we were talking about the conversion tables from what we mentioned Improbable. I'm going to say there's probably going to be a half second off, right, when everything's said and done. So if we run, I think we're going to go 890.
We run our 890, which on math is our 13-second
mile. It would be like a 13. An 890 would be a 13
something.
No, hang on a second.
Yeah, let's look that up, and I'm
going to look that up.
Okay. Bob's Chop says, "Hey, what year for AOD is a good candidate for that?" I don't remember the specific years, but there's 3. There's one that came in the cars, one that came in the trucks. The truck case has ribs on the backside, like from the bell housing to like the main guts area. Or if you really want a cruiser, you get one out of a Lincoln, because the Lincolns had a wider gear set. They had a little bit lower first gear, and they had a little bit bigger of an overdrive up top.
So in 890, which is our goal, okay, eighth mile is going to equate to, if everything is right, a 1392, okay? But I think we're going to be between 4 and 5/10 because of the deficit. Remember, we have a stock Jeep. It's a stock
small
engine.
6-cylinder.
Yeah, 240 cubic inch, and even though it's light, it's still pushing huge amounts of wind, right?
Yeah.
So if we pull an 890 in the eighth, I'm going to say it's going to be like about a 1430, 1440 quarter. Would I call that a win? Would you call that a win?
Yes, it's a win, because that was the goal for the project. It wasn't.
Well, the goal was 1399 and a quarter. The goal, to be honest, was 1399 and a quarter.
Okay.
But
we have no way to take it conveniently to test for a quarter mile.
If we could pull an 890 out of that thing, I say it's mission accomplished, and we move to the next phase. Whatever the next phase.
Whatever the next phase is for that Jeep,
right.
Yeah.
Fun with cars. Anybody see the guy that put a stock 5.3 LS on nitromethane with zoomies? It was awesome.
Yep.
It would be fucking great. Excuse my French. It would be awesome until you put a load to it. And at that point, all holy hell would just absolutely transpire.
That was Blue Collar Performance. Was it YouTube channel?
Yeah. Yeah, soon as you put a load to that thing, it's just
It's just
the wrath of every deity that ever existed would be unleashed. Pure Palmer Nesbitt, 60-foot times are everything. I say that all the time. Build a car that can leave. Shout it from the rooftops so the younger generation can hear. Bro, I don't know if you watch the videos we do on this channel, but I literally did a whole thing on the importance of the 60 foot. You know, how it really is the number. 60 foot and finish line mile an hour are the two things. 60 foot is telling you how your chassis is working. Finish line mile an hour is telling you how effective the power is, how much power you're actually making. Claire Bryant is spamming us. Somebody remove Claire Bryant from this realm.
Yeah, zero's on it.
Thank you, Zero.
Yeah, put him. Yeah, just don't put him in timeout. Thank you.
All right. Security.
Security.
Favorite coolant for your dailies? Cheapest stuff I can find.
Yeah.
Whatever's cheap.
My dailies, whatever they came with.
Right. Whatever. Well, his dailies are all new. I go with cheap stuff. You know what I do? I'm going to tell you what I do, right? Oh, we got David as the best kid ever. Okay, we got spammers galore here.
Yeah. Put him in timeout.
Yes. So I go to pull apart.
And drain.
No,
All right.
I can't walk. I hurt my ankle today.
Wow, this spammer is important on this. Yeah, if you want to get your question that bad, just do it once. Calm down.
So if it's a wait, let me.
Oh yeah, when you walk out, they got it there.
Yeah. Oh. So if it's a really nice engine that I really care about, oh look at this, it's
shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah, get it out of here.
Oh my god. All I did was touch it. Well.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. I go to pull apart and buy that stuff for $4 a gallon, and now it's leaking.
Yeah. Well, that one goes outside.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, you're gonna have a trail. Yeah. That was a fail. Okay. Wow. Very persistent spammer on 12 different channels. Well, you're not popular, unless you do have a spammer. So we must be very popular tonight. So that's okay. Now he's Walter Force. Oh. Yes, that's right. 3.9 Magnum engines you can do stuff with. Blah, blah, blah. What's up? Shovel Heads Forever. What's up, everybody? Ain't been here in a while and late tonight, but I'm glad I made it. Well, we're glad to have you. As Tony is cleaning house.
You get what you're paying for.
Yeah, exactly. Did either of you catch John Cope's new video on a two-piece A27 SFI case and bell housing?
He's got a SFI. No, I can't even say it.
SFI
case for a Torflight?
Yeah.
Wow.
Boy, the spammers got one after another, but that, whatever. American Rooster. We can see where this is going already. 1995 XJ, new plugs, wires, cap, rotor. Morsewood idling. The timing will jump around about 10% of the time. Tried crank position sensor, but the new one went bad after the first start. Didn't fix on startup.
That's you would be the guy for that.
Yeah, if it's you, because it's 95's OBD1. He's having the problems.
Well, what would you tell him to do? He says with RPM or warming it up, it smooths out.
The crank sensor you put in, was it a factory one or was it an O'Reilly's one?
I bet you it's a map sensor.
I think it's a map.
I think it's.
Oh, because we swapped all that stuff over and eventually found.
It could be map or a TPS.
Yeah.
Either the map or the TPS is. So either of those things is going to tell the computer it's time to advance or retard based on position, based on manifold vacuum,
Right.
based on throttle position.
Mm-hmm.
So, Rooster, check those two things.
Did you see Winnie got a advanced trick badge?
Yes, my Winnie wins another title, which is why we call her Winnie.
Advanced trick title.
Yes.
Nice.
Advanced trick title, not just regular trick title, okay? Advanced trick title. That's my puppy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, run the 5.9 instead of investing into 3.9. Blah blah blah.
Zeros right there, dropping a hammer.
Yeah, bam. Very inventive spammer, very persistent tonight. It's been a while, you know.
I admire persistence.
Yes.
But he can't get past our mods.
No.
That's the thing, right? See, that's we got.
It's big easily raised tonight. Yeah, that's right. 1 cookie, 2 cookies for the good job. Yeah.
So yes, my border collie is a advanced trick thing now. I don't even know what it means. I don't even know what it means. To be honest,
They walk on balance beams and through tunnels, and
right.
Yeah.
Kathy Bananas knows what it means, and that's all I care about.
Broke Joker ATV. So the 3.9 is worthless to mod or work with? No, not necessarily.
Man, short of putting a supercharger or a turbocharger on the thing, I can't really. The 3.9 is a turd. It really is. I wouldn't mess with it unless you
That's
go
what you
for,
got.
Or natural aspiration, you know.
Wow. See, and everyone wants cookies. Even our spammer does, but they get blown up before they get too far anymore now.
That man, Dan, good dog. Oh yeah. Oh, she's amazing. She's amazing. End of time. Can you guys do a vid on torque wrench calibration?
Do you have a torque wrench calibration tester?
I do not, but what I do is I have several torque wrenches. So if I'm going to do something critical, okay, I'll generally check one against the other first. Just compare the two torque wrenches, right? But no, I'm a bad mechanic. I've never calibrated the torque wrench. I've had one that I've used. Oh God, I have a Craftsman one that I've used since the Nitro days. Like
that's the thing with mine is too, and it's I keep it in that red case.
Keep it in a red case.
And that's like the cleanest tool I've ever owned. Yep. I keep it nice. Yeah.
Yep. JP doing stuff wants more socks and shirts. We're gonna wait till Sunday. Wait till Sunday. Kathy Bananas has got a special brewing that you guys will not believe.
Is it the big event Sunday?
I have no idea. What Sunday?
You just said
the live.
Kathy Bananas got the big event planned for Sunday.
Oh, the giveaway, the merch.
Yeah, the big event merch.
The big event, yes.
The big merch event.
The stuff that you, right, exactly. Like,
did they write stories about this? You got to be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't go buy some of my stuff tonight, which you
Do
should,
you have any money left?
yes,
Right.
show up Sunday with your credit card.
Broke Joker, Plan Z is alive. I got rid of the car. I have all the mechanical stuff for it. It's all going to get used, but I just got rid of the car. It was extraneous.
Yeah, Shane did a video on that. What he's doing with that?
Did he?
Yeah.
What's he doing with it?
I just seen the thumbnail.
He's nutty doing anything with it, but that's.
Yeah.
He wanted it.
Yeah. There you go.
Let's see. Raining Slant 6 with a chance of cannonballs. It's only a few sample pieces they're shipping to Copes and a few other train shops to test fit with stock and aftermarket internals. John said wouldn't likely go into production until after next January. Okay. Well, that's interesting, man. An SFI case for a torque fight is crazy. I never thought I'd see the day that would happen.
KJ, can you tell him to ease up on the 3.9 things? Because I tuned his 3.9.
Oh, did you?
And it made a world of difference.
But listen, for a driver, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But from a performance standpoint, no, it's really not a good engine.
Because his little truck didn't, going up hills and downshift. And now we put the Jesus in it. Now it's.
That's great. That's great. That's great. But as to try to actually get it to do like.
No, it's not. It's not a drag race
Right.
motor, but there's a little bit of room in them to make them.
I assume when somebody asks about like an engine like that they're like, oh, should I invest cam intake headers, all the usual stuff, right? Don't do it to that, right? But if you've got like a Dakota or something with a 3.9,
and KJ's truck is clean.
Yeah, I'm not knocking it as an engine. I'm just knocking it as a performance build.
Yeah,
right?
You wouldn't go to the junkyard and pull out a 3.9.
Oh, I'm gonna race car. Right.
Yeah.
It's my 3.9 for no. Yeah, but. Old Cars Music, 3.9 will respond as well to mods as a 318. It will.
Mm-hmm.
You'll just get 3/4 horsepower. Yes, I know that's the problem. It's like the 318 is marginal as it is, right? Not so marginal, but it needs a lot of work to actually like be a happy motor. Okay, the 3.9, it's just I wouldn't.
Was Olive here before?
I don't think so, but Olive is here now, and her back is better.
Good.
Boy, I spelled antifreeze all over.
All everywhere.
Everywhere.
Freaking pick apart used milk jugs.
Let's see. Danny Boyd's truck is a 3.9 inline. Okay. Build Olive's back better. I have to ask this. I'm so sorry, guys. I know. I'm sorry. Olive and I are
here comes.
Olive and I are on opposite ends. I love her. I respect her, but we're on opposite ends of the political spectrum. So I have to ask. I just have to ask.
We just have to ask why. How about that?
No, I'm going to ask why.
Okay.
Olive, what do you think of Harris? And I know I don't want to get political on this channel, but this is the only time I see her, and I'm dying of curiosity. I have to know what somebody like Olive how she feels towards Harris.
As a line cheating lunatic, what are your thoughts about it?
Well, no, let's not go there.
Yeah.
Broke Joker saying, yeah, no. I'm just asking Olive. Which accent is she using? I know. Shovelheads Forever. Wanted to ask if I do the 396 build for this truck. He wants tunnel ram and single 4-barrel. No, don't do it. Yes, no, bad idea. Fuel distribution sucks. Like really, really sucks. No.
Go one way or the other.
Yeah, yeah.
Go full tunnel ram or go just single.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they. So the single 4-barrel tunnel ram. The reason they came about was the AHRA GT classes, which was a very obscure. It was like a Formula Pro stock. Okay, from the very early 70s, and they had 2-barrel classes, 4-barrel classes, and they would actually put a 2-barrel on a tunnel ram. They had 4-barrel single 4. So that's where that single 4-barrel tunnel ram thing came from. But those were like complete all-out race motors. And there was a lot of science in those intake manifolds. And people thought, well, okay, well, it'll work on the street, so I'll just put a single 4-barrel on my tunnel ram. And it does not. The outer cylinders are always starving for fuel. The center cylinders are always wet. The fuel distribution moves around through the RPM range. You're pissing in the wind. Don't do it. Don't try it. Don't bother unless it's something that you just roll around parking lots like fairgrounds and car shows with.
Yeah, it's a trailer queen. Just
Yeah.
yeah. Look at me. I have 1 carburetor instead of 2. Yeah.
Oh, geez. So Olive didn't answer.
Olive did not answer. Maybe she's formulating a very nice, dissertation on.
Well, let's see. Olive did answer? I didn't see it. And she's back. No, she didn't answer.
No. Well, top chat. Did she see?
Oh, wait. I did answer. Mex pointed it out, but you blew by. I did answer. Mex pointed it out, but you blew by. I'm going back through the.
Do we need to switch it to the live chat? Because you got top chat.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Olive said it's something to the effect of she's more than adequate and not a mentally deranged Nazi.
For some reason, we didn't have it on. Yeah, we just had it on top chat.
I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta hit all chat. It's just top chat. For whatever reason, it didn't make it into.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah,
just curious. And yeah, I didn't realize we had it. So, guys, I have to apologize because I didn't realize we had this on top chat and not live chat. So there's probably been
a whole
lot of comments and stuff that we missed. I'm sorry about that. And now it's frozen. Okay, there we go.
There we're going. It's probably why we don't get any likes because we don't see half the chat. But I don't know. I don't know how that got changed.
I like her, and a lot of sons of bitches will need prosecuting. Well, now I know you won't get any argument with me about that. There's a lot of prosecuting that needs to be done. Actually, I'm at torches and pitchfork. Like I'm ready to string them up. So then we may be talking about different people to be strung up, but I'm there. I'm there. Yes, Firefly, no more politics. We are done. Yes.
Yeah, that was enough.
Tony Pace had a 73 Charger, non-SE, and actually removed the boomerang trim piece because it cleaned up the rear side openings to the roofline. It came with the 400 horsepower HP motor and the console mounted shifter. Yeah, and what did you see when you pulled that boomerang off? You saw a 71, 72 satellite. Thumper is saying, I have a fondness for freedom of speech and I want mine back on YouTube. Amen.
Mm. We go right to gravity on the moon.
Yeah.
It snaps. Yeah.
Let's see. Yes, Boomer, we stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sure. This is a great Halloween costume. Curtis Randolph been looking for a set of 72 Charger Rally taillights for years. Good luck. They didn't build many of those cars.
Were those like the little segmented taillights?
They have like louvers in between.
Like cubes or louvers or something. Yeah.
Rice Kendall, absolutely loving your videos on Edelbrox. I'm a burgeoning hot rodder and trying to get my small block Chevy running right. There's a lot. Riley, I've done a lot. Did I say Riley? Rise. I've done a lot of Edelbrox videos. Boy, I've covered those things every way to Sunday. I'm glad you got something out of them. Let's see. Zero angry villagers. That's getting done since always.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, enough of this.
Yeah.
Wow, Dr. Art, look what time it is.
Holy, it's getting close to that magic 9 o'clock hour here in Central Land.
Yes, we've only got 8 minutes left.
So we need the best questions for the next 6.5 minutes.
Yes.
So get them in.
So what's been your favorite question so far? We should vote. We should keep a tally and see who's got the best questions. And then you could send them merch.
Oh, I can send the merch.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just promotion. Yeah.
Oh, it's promotion.
Yeah.
A promotion on your channel where I send the merch. Oh, yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that.
Great how that works, right?
Yeah.
It's quitters time. And Zero just put up a link to your channel, Dr. Art.
Thank you.
So everybody go over there and subtitle Dr. Art and
just watch the whole damn thing.
Watch whatever he does.
Turn the volume down, go to bed, and
accept all of his rhetoric and propaganda and buy all of his
nonsense, because the nonsense it's a pretty wide swing on my channel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, all right. Let's stop it with the politics. And I know I invited it in, but I just wanted to ask Olive that one question. That was it.
Before we go, there will be a special guest invited on Fun with Cars this Sunday. Please come to the YouTube channel.
Oh, okay. So Mexican Spec is going to be a guest on Fun with Cars, and he put the link there.
Nice.
So go and hang out with Mexican Spec. Thumper, how about we race Bottle Rocket versus Ace Ventura with draggies? That could be fun. Well, let me think about that. So I'm imagining Ace Ventura is that blown Le Mans that you have?
Yeah, bring it down.
All right, and we're going to do this. This is going to be on a drag strip, or it's going to be. No, not bring it down. He wants to do it on draggies. Just whoever's got the best numbers.
Oh, I misunderstood. Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, I don't see any reason we couldn't do that.
Right.
Olive, stop it now, Olive. I haven't told the spring Ace Ventura is the car you're building now. Okay.
Mm.
72 Ventura built like rocket. Oh, okay. Oh, excellent, excellent. And you guys are you guys are into fast, low budget cars, especially brand X stuff. Well, Pontiac isn't really brand X. It wasn't brand X. It kind of is today. Thumper, he's building some pretty cool Pontiac stuff on his channel. So go over there and check that out.
Mods Nation, this is a relative question. 68 Fastback has a very light grinding sound somewhere in the center of rear under the car. What could it be?
You know, I got that same sound on Scribbles, and for the life of me, I don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah, like what the hell is that? I don't know.
Carb by Jones says this has been amusing and informative.
Well, that's fantastic.
Bob Smith keeps asking, do you guys think Bigfoot is real? Yes.
Yeah. I mean, if you've ever been in a plane and flown over the country, the cities are this big, and,
Yes.
and the trees are everywhere.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, there's a gazillion million acres of to hide a big ass orangutan with a fetish for deer meat.
I have different opinions on what Bigfoot might actually be. You know what I mean? It could be a regular flesh and blood thing. It could be intradimensional. I don't know. There's a lot of mysterious aspects of our realm, and there's a lot of things that fit into that category. So like Bigfoot, there's the I used to have a term for this. I don't remember what it was now. But like Bigfoot, lake monsters, ghosts, UFOs, gnomes, all of these different things, right? All have very similar characteristics. People see them. They've always seen them. Some people get pictures of them, right? But yet there's never any tangible physical evidence of them. So it's like they all have these things in common. And when you figure out when we collectively figure out what that commonality is, it'll open a doorway to understanding the next realm, what's beyond us. Or not.
Or you just get looped up enough and you see fairies in your head and you think they're real.
Something like that.
Okay.
All right. This picture of Rick was smoking a cigarette. Yes. So I'm playing cards at the Jersey Devil. Hey, I raced for the guy who saw the Jersey Devil. Him and everybody in the truck, right? They were towing back from Atco on the back route there, like 206, I think it is, right through the middle of the Pine Barrens. And they saw this thing in the middle of the road, scared the living piss out of them. It wasn't just one or two people. There were like 4 people in the truck that saw this. I left the track earlier at night. I went a different way, so I didn't see it. But they saw it and told me about it the next morning, and they hadn't even heard of the Jersey Devil. And when I says, "Oh, okay, what you saw was the Jersey Devil," and then they did a little research on it, and it's like, yes, I know people who legitimately saw the Jersey Devil on the way back from Atco. All right, so let's go then. I say let's do this thing.
Let's go. Let's wrap up.
Let's get out of here.
All right.
So what do you want to plug?
Merch.
Merch.
And then you could see us at the track on Friday night.
Don't tell them that.
Well, no, they could see the video of
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because we were interdimensional on Friday night at the track, so.
Yes. But don't say anything else about that, because then people will show up. I don't want anybody to show
Oh,
up.
I know.
Yeah.
But you can see the video.
I panic. I get really
I know you
weird.
get anxiety and your hair falls out. We understand.
Like, did you see that? I have friends at the track. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Andy,
We see Andy and
right? That's
people,
all cool,
yeah.
right? But yeah, I don't want. Yeah, no, I get weird, man. Don't so, but yeah, we're gonna Friday night. We're gonna be running Mission Improbable. We're going for the beans this time. Okay. So that's it. That's all we've got.
Yeah.
With that.
And then, that's all until stuff this weekend.
All right. So, and that's it, right? So everybody contributed Super Chat. Thank you so much. Always appreciated, never expected, but always appreciated. Everybody contributed with your presence and your conversation. Thank you equally. We're eternally grateful for you guys giving us the opportunity to do this and get paid for it. And this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever done in my life.
Right.
It's
And then tonight was a perfect example of why you need superior mods.
We have the best mods, and we have the best viewers, and we have we have Sweaty the Fat Guy, we have Olive, we have a mixed bag of really cool people, and thank you all for being part of our friggin' world here. So that's it. I'm gonna pull the plug, and I'll see you guys on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Bye.
Good night, all. I need water.